Welcome back to my channel. Um, Here I talk about life and my observations. So, I would like to discuss some things, well, a thing that I noticed once I started vocalizing the things that occurred during my childhood. Um, my mother and my aunt, they had friends who were around. More so my aunt, because my mother had the whole substance use and mental health thing going on at the same time. But the friends that my aunt had, they were friends since they were children. So these people have been around me and my brother since my mom was pregnant with us. Like they watched us grow and grow up. And when I started to become very angry and vocalizing the things that had happened to me, this was after, my family being very disrespectful during my first pregnancy and not offering any support. And, I was in grad school and all this other stuff. Um, I just was very angry and I was in a state where I just wanted to expose it because I felt that people weren't being held accountable. And I just wanted to get it off my chest. I didn't know that it would make people so angry, but that's something that I realized as well. Another thing is that people will want to maintain this good presence, this good image, and they will go around defaming you for years and years and years, triangulating, um, murkying up people's vision of you through telling embarrassing stories, through telling your vulnerabilities, through allowing them to humiliate you. They're training them to disbelieve, minimize, gaslight you. So that's one additional person on their side, more credibility for their character versus what I'm reporting as the truth. So, my aunt's friends, they had stopped talking to me. They got so tight and angry about me talking about her. And it just kind of blew my mind because, for one, during this whole time while my mother's on drugs, and y'all know that we're in and out of foster care, and our mother was leaving us places, leaving us on the doorstep, you were very quiet. You had not a motherfucking thing to say. You didn't offer no fucking support. You didn't check in. You didn't do anything. I don't remember getting any money from you. I don't remember getting a prayer. I don't remember getting any kind words throughout my childhood, seeing you, seeing all these adults who didn't give a damn to even ask, oh, how are you doing? Nothing like that. But when I'm talking, not even talking about them, I'm just talking about their friend, my aunt, and the things that she do. Now you want to get all tight and angry with me. But then I'm thinking, I'm like, this is my aunt, a person who has a history of child abuse. She was a receiving party, and then she continued the cycle and gave it to her children. And again, she's had all these friends, nobody really intervening. But then when they have children, then they want to say things like, oh, I'm never leaving my kid over there. Her house is too messy. Well, she's too mean. I don't trust her with my kid. Then they want to say something. But when I say something, you all watched me get abused. You watched me be neglected. You watched me have raggedy clothes and have fucked up hair. You didn't say a motherfucking thing. You didn't offer to help my aunt with my hair or give her any tips or anything. But now that I'm older and now that I'm processing these things and naming it and talking about how I felt, Not saying anything to y'all, just talking about your friend. Now you want to set up and delete and block or send me messages telling me, oh, I know you haven't talked to your aunt, but they had a apartment fire and it's just family. Family this. You had another friend tell me that my aunt telling me that she was disgusted at me being pregnant and encouraged me to have an abortion and was bullying me the entire time I was pregnant. Um, you're telling me that, oh, she's just giving you advice. That's all she's doing. She's giving you advice. I'm like, if you are giving someone advice, there should be something of value to it. Because I am wrong often. Not really, but I am wrong. I don't get it right. That's just human nature. But I know the difference between somebody giving me constructive feedback that I need to hear that may be difficult for me to receive versus somebody putting me down because they want to control me. I know the fucking difference between that. And what my aunt was doing was abusive and controlling and was uncalled for. And it triggered a response in her because I know that the same way that she was reacting to me being pregnant is the same way that my grandmother reacted to her being pregnant as a teenager. But I'm not you. I'm not an uneducated teenager getting pregnant. I am an educated adult woman with means and education and a career. Yes, it may not look all, oh, yada yada to you because in this current moment, my car isn't the best, at that time, and I'm starting my career trying to maintain a job to fund me during my endeavors on my career, making time out of nowhere, stretching myself thin. So I'm in the ugly phase. I'm in the building phase, which is a very normal phase that people go through when trying to establish themselves in society and set themselves up and their children up for success. So I'm in the building phase with no support, no body. Oh, we saved up some money for you, or even my child support, that some of that could have been saved up for me. I don't have nothing coming from you. I don't have no positivity, no support, no kind words, no financial, no, oh, you can call and get me a job. Like, you're not doing anything for me. I'm doing this on my own and don't mind because I know that I want better for myself. So I don't mind putting in the work, but at the same time, you're not going to judge me while I'm doing that. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not on the path to doing anything wrong. I'm not compromising myself physically, legally, socially, none of that. I don't have an addiction and I'm not struggling with a mental health disorder that is debilitating and forcing me to negatively impacting any area of my life. None of that is going on with me. Okay. And I'm not asking you for anything. You're not doing anything. I'm doing this on my own. And so you feel that because I'm pregnant, that gives you the right to be disrespectful. And then I am supposed to take something positive out of it, from a person who not only has disrespected me in this current situation, at that time, but has a history of discounting, training other people to disrespect me, minimizing, shaming, projecting, always trying to put me down, always trying to remind me that I am at the bottom, that I should be pitied because I don't have no support in the natural realm. You are supposed to be my relative, my elder, my aunt. And if you see that I'm lacking in something, so why can't you step in and fill that role? Oh, I forgot. Because you haven't taken ownership of your life, because you're a forever perpetual victim because of whatever happened with your mother. you didn't take ownership of your life. But meanwhile, I'm taking ownership of my life with no blueprint of how you actually do that. Because in my family, the way you take ownership is that you become an adult, you project, you abuse, you do this, you do that. And I don't want to do that because you show me what I don't want to be. That's what thing you did do right. So I'm here actively breaking generational curses, making sure that I have the means to raise a child. I'm of an appropriate age. I am learning about childhood development, doing all the things because I realize when observing you all and being a child, having you as a guide, apparently, that you didn't know what the fuck you were doing because you weren't fucking educated. And that was one of the main reasons why the abuse is so prevalent. That is one of the main reasons why poverty is prevalent. That is one of the main reasons why we have all these issues with substance use and mental health in the family. So, whatever. I'm breaking these curses, doing what I have to do. And because I'm pregnant or whatever. And who's to say you weren't going to find anything else to bitch and complain about and try to disrespect me about? So, anyway, after that, after I've been on this journey of making sure I didn't fuck myself legally, socially, or anything like that, making sure that I stayed in school and made sure that I made the right decisions to make sure that I can get an education, you know, without the help of my family who should have been helping me on this path. But no, I have to groom myself properly because my family is prepping me for a life of poverty. And that's what they're trying to set up for me: poverty, drug addiction, and unmanaged mental health disorders that would disrupt my ability to function in society. That's what my relatives want for me because that's what my mother had, because that's what they wanted for her and that's what they did to her. And so they're like, oh, we're going to do the same thing to you. So I don't allow you to. I fight against that. Every curse that you spoke on my life. And then after doing all that and then getting pregnant and realizing, okay, this is where I need to make a different decision because I can offer my son up to these relatives as a sacrifice. And for what? You know? So I'm talking about this on my social media because I can do that, because I paid for the phone, I paid for the phone plan, I paid for the Wi-Fi, at my home to use. So I paid for all these things. These are my things. I'm not doing anything wrong or harmful on it. I'm not defaming anyone. I'm not tagging anyone's name in anything, but I am talking candidly about my experiences and the way it impacts me and the way I think about it. And you are a person, my aunt's friends, who, again, don't do a motherfucking thing for me. You have no right to have an opinion on any fucking thing because if you couldn't inconvenience yourself to stand up for me, then why now, as an adult, do you feel like you want to get Twitter fingers and get all big boy beastie behind the app to try to tell me how I'm arrogant and how I'm misreading something, and that just because somebody doesn't have an education and doesn't have an adult thought process or a higher functioning process as an adult, that I shouldn't be angry with them for having a childlike tantrum to me. My aunt don't understand what I'm doing because she is uneducated. She didn't understand the choices that I was making because, again, you're uneducated. You don't know nothing about discipline. You don't know nothing about delaying gratification. You don't know nothing about getting shit out the mud because you've given up on everything. You taken the victim coward's route out. And then you want to judge me for doing something that, because you want to set me up for failure. So because I'm not failing and because I'm doing shit like a fucking adult and I'm surpassing you, then you want to sit up and you want to try to shame me and then want to use your relationship as my aunt. You thought that that was going to keep me beneath you. No, fuck you. And just like I told them, if my parents can discard me and I have to eat that, I don't care about nobody else discarding me. I don't care about nobody else coming into my life and walking out. That is your free will to leave me at any fucking point. I'm not gonna beg, scream, manipulate, stalk, harass, nothing. Once you say, oh, I'm done, then be done. And then the door will shut behind you. People think that threatening me with their relationship, trying to pull on some wound that you think that I have, I don't. My parents' abandonment does not, that don't faze me anymore. They abandoned themselves, so how can they give me anything? That's not to say that it doesn't make me angry, but that's not an area where I'm weak in, you know? I'm not weak in that area. Your relationship to me don't mean a motherfucking thing to me. I don't need you, right? Because again, you're not doing anything for me financially. You're not doing anything for me spiritually. You're not doing anything for me at all. Everything I do, everything I have, everything I've accomplished has been because of me, because I believed in myself and I set the plan and I put it in motion. Me and the spiritual protection that I've had over my life that has allowed me to stay in a sane mind and stay focused and stay out of trouble. That's what's helped me, not you. And you always trying to put me down. You are trying to remind me of where I come from. You who never believed in me. You who always moved the goalpost because you are uneducated. You're a child. And just because you're older than me and just because you are an aunt to me, that don't mean a motherfucking thing. That don't mean I have to tolerate it. And people felt, and they were just so used to me being in a disempowered state. They did not think for 1 second that I had the self-love that I had. They just thought, oh, she don't really have nobody. So let me go over here and get all in her business and disrespect her and say all these things and do put downs. And then when she tries to put up a boundary with me, then I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave if you keep talking to me like this. I'm going to leave if you keep acting like this. And then I tell you I don't care. And I don't put up a fight when you say that shit. Go. 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 People are so upset that I love myself and I'm preoccupied with myself. People have always tried to shame me for speaking up for myself. Oh, you always got something to say when someone does something to you that you don't like. You fucking right, I do. You fucking right, I do. You fucking right, I'm gonna talk to that demon that's hiding in that person who thought that they could abuse, trample over humble little son me, little bow wow me. No, bitch. I'm going to talk to you and that demon so you know you better not fuck with me. So, those are just a few things I noticed after discussing candidly my life experiences. The pushback is inevitable. People, they're mad because they chose to align themselves with an abuser. And it says a lot about them. It says a lot about them. Now, listen, you ain't always in control of things, and some things just aren't your business. But everybody knew what was going on with my mom. Everybody knew that me and my brother were in and out of foster care. Everybody knew everything. My whole family, there was no privacy, there was no cover. Everybody knew all of my business. Everybody knew everything that I went through. And people made a spectacle of it. They loved the fact that I looked bummy. They loved the fact that my hair was fucked up. They loved the fact that they could say and do things to me. And when I got older and got my own money, got my own access to things, got the agency and the privilege of being an adult, got the empowerment of being able to provide for myself. And now I'm in a safe space where I can actually process the things that happen to me and talk about it and see the patterns and be like, oh, okay, I need to subtract myself. I need to speak on this. I need to check this. I need to confront that. I need to put up a boundary here. Okay. They're mad about it. They're mad that I came from nothing, but it wasn't nothing. The whole time I was under divine protection and divine guidance that nobody could interrupt. They thought that, oh, she didn't have no support in the natural. But I'm going to show you. And that's why I say in the natural, because people, they confuse that, oh, you got a big support system. They disregard the spirit world. Yeah, they disregard it because people, they don't lead by faith. They lead by sight. If it ain't right here, 1, 2, 3, laid out for them, they're not curious to dig deep. They don't expand their thought process. They can't accept multiple realities. It's, ignorance is bliss. Oh, this is what's worked for me. This is what's worked for the people that I know. This is the path that I'm going down. Oh, if you don't have this, this, and this, oh, I think this, and that. And that's just that. Well, that's not what I believe, so that's just that. Anyway, have a nice day.